The event will begin shortly. A private spiritual community dedicated to integration, healing, and personal transformation. Everything shared here today is for educational and spiritual purposes only. Whether you're exploring microdosing, preparing for a journey, or seeking integration support, you are in the right place. The event will begin shortly. Hi guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday after a long weekend. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Awesome. So we're going to start the presentation here right now. While the presentation is going on right now, I encourage you to write questions or thoughts or ideas in the chat, and I'll address them as we go. I already see Chris has asked about microdosing. So Chris, we will get to that towards the end, if that's okay with you. Does that work okay for you? You can just write it in the chat. Perfect. We'll talk about that towards the end. So we'll get into today's topic, which is finding clarity when you feel emotionally drained. I'm talking about burnout today. So we'll dig into this topic real quick. It's gonna be about 10 minutes. And then after that, we'll wind up and then do an open Q&A session. So we'll address Chris's question, any other questions as you go. If you guys have thoughts, ideas, whatever, just go ahead and whip them in the chat until that time. And then once this is over, then we'll go ahead and open your mics on mute and talk about stuff. So tonight we're talking about burnout, right? There's different kinds of burnout. There's the burnout you feel when you just work too much and you don't get enough sleep and life is stressful and all that stuff, right? And then there's another burnout that you may feel. And that burnout is when you are actually outgrowing your comfort zone. It's when you're actually working on yourself and you're kind of elevating from your group, or you're elevating from your job, or you're elevating from your situation. And so this kind of burnout kind of happens as you are working on yourself. So all you guys, be honest with yourself right now, and you can go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. How many of you guys have taken a vacation and came back just as tired or more tired from the vacation? I know I have. Have ever said to yourself, I'm doing all the right things, but I still feel kind of empty and unfulfilled? I feel like I'm living in someone else's life. Like, what is this that's going on around me? And I know something needs to change. I just don't know what. Yeah, Tasha, Chris, yeah, all you guys, yep, for sure, me as well. This isn't laziness, and this isn't like overwhelm or boredom or anything like that. And it's not weakness. It's just basically your soul asking for something bigger. It's like time. Yeah, some just came from vacation. So yeah, so it's like time when your body and your soul is saying, hey, I think there's something more. So what if burnout is actually a breakthrough in disguise? So traditional burnout, like I said at the beginning, is like, when you don't get enough sleep and you worked a million hours and maybe kids or your partner or somebody's, in your hair, whatever. It's too much work, not enough rest. But what if you're rested and you're still exhausted? That's something different. So deep emotional exhaustion happens when your daily life no longer aligns with your spirit. So I'll share with you guys quickly, and then we'll keep going through this, about how that happened for me. So 5 years ago, I did my first plant medicine journey, and everything changed for me. Before that, I've always been a successful person, very driven, very in my masculine, very, very force, right? I ran an advertising agency for years. I had it for 13 years. I was in advertising for 32. So I woke up every day and I just took the world by the balls, you might say, and I just force, and got things done. And I was known as a boss babe. And I wore that title like it was a crown. I am a boss babe, right? And then 5 years ago, I did my first plant medicine journey and everything changed for me. And I realized I wanted to go more into my feminine. I wanted to be more in flow. I didn't want to be in this force, masculine energy. I didn't want to do it anymore. And so shortly thereafter, I started doing my certification and training to do what I do now. But also that business started to fall away from me. It started to become very, just a sec. Sorry, my dog's losing her mind. But it became very uncomfortable. And I was burnt out and I was not working. I wasn't working on Fridays. I was working 4 days a week. My agency ran itself. It had been running for years. And I'd wake up every day and just dread going to work. How many of you guys have dreaded going to work? This is something I built from the ground up. It was my little baby and I took pride in it. And I would just go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, right? I was emotionally and eventually physically exhausted from having to do something that just didn't fit anymore. So you haven't run out of energy, and I didn't run out of energy. You ran out of alignment. It was no longer in alignment with me. I was no longer that person that was boss babe in the world and had 60 employees and forced my way into rooms and did this and that. It didn't suit me anymore. The discomfort was like so tenable that I couldn't stand it. And every day I would get up and I'd force my way through the day. But at the end of the day, I'd just be sheerly exhausted, and I would go to bed and I'd get up and do it again. So little by little, things started to fall apart because it just wasn't meant for me anymore. So the discomfort I felt is just the friction of me outgrowing that version of myself, and it no longer suited me. So it says on here, caterpillar doesn't burn out, it dissolves. And from that dissolution, something entirely new emerges. And something entirely new emerged for me, and that was the creation of Silly Girl and Temple of Heart Awakening Love. And it's a beautiful, great thing. And I work more now than I ever have. And I'm happy and I'm thrilled and I have so much energy, and I wake up every day bouncing up the stairs and smiling, and people are like, what's going on with you? So how many of you guys have been in this situation where jobs are a big part of our life, right? It's a third of our time at least. How many of you guys have been in a situation with a job where you're just like, oh my God, if I have to do this one more day, right? Yeah, I think we've all been there. Relationships are the same way. How many of you guys have been in a relationship with somebody where like you love the stuffing out of them and then they fall out of alignment, and then you're like, I swear to God, breathe, that's it for you. That's it. It's curtains, right? And it isn't anything about them changed. It's something about you changed, right? So burnout or outgrowing, let's find out which it is. So look at these statements and see what resonates. I'm exhausted and I need rest. It means I haven't been sleeping enough. Or I'm rested and I just feel wrong. I want to do less. I want to do something different. I need to slow down. I need to change direction. My body is tired. My soul is restless and wants something else. And if you got mostly twos, guess what? You're becoming, you're moving, you're elevating, you're changing. And things that are in alignment just don't fit anymore. If it's out of alignment, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to make you like, ugh. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between growth and danger. So your nervous system's job is to keep you safe by keeping you familiar. So comfort zones are not lazy. That's where we live. It's called a comfort zone for a reason, right? Your brain is a little lazy monkey. It likes to do things that are easy. It likes to be plastic. It likes repeatable. How many of you guys have ever driven somewhere and you weren't thinking and you drove someplace that you drive every day instead of the place you're actually going? I just did it yesterday. Just yesterday I did this. I was driving home from the gym. I was supposed to go to my mom's house, and instead I just went to drive home, and then midway driving home, all of a sudden my brain caught up with my body, and I was like, oh shit, I was supposed to pick up my mom and I'm going the wrong direction. I need to turn around. Texted my mom and told her I went on a field trip. Right? We've all done it. That's kind of in essence what happens in your life. It's not laziness. It's neurological. Your brain's wired to repeat patterns because it wants to use less energy. So it resists change. It's hard for it to change because it wants to go down the same ruts it goes down every day because it's most comfortable, because it's easiest. It uses the least amount of energy. So prolonged stress and misalignment equals chronic activation of your HPA axis, and that's your cortisol overload, stress, like the stress hormone, right? This creates brain fog, emotional flatness. This creates creative blocks, disconnection from joy, emptiness, unfulfilled. That's how you feel when this happens. And your nervous system reads outgrowing your life as a threat, even when it's a gift. So you could have the best things going on, like I did with my business. My business is something people strive for their entire lives. And I just outgrew it and I shut it down, and people thought I was completely insane. It was a gift, but it just did not fit me anymore. So I just stopped doing it. When you use psilocybin, it creates neuroplasticity, and that's your brain's ability to form new pathways. And it helps the nervous system learn that change is safe. It gives it's basically like if you ski down the hill every day and you're in the same two ruts, it's like a brand new snowstorm. So there's no ruts and you can ski wherever you want down that hill. Does that make sense to you guys? That's what it helps you do. So let's do a 60-second nervous system check-in, everybody. So I'm going to guide you through a quick somatic release so you can follow along. So place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. You can't see my belly, but I'm doing it. Take a slow breath in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, where are you holding tension in your body right now? Me, between my shoulder blades. What about you guys? Where do you feel some tension? Sometimes you get it in your shoulders. Yeah. Sometimes in your jaw, chest, for sure, right? Now, is this tension from doing too much, or is it from holding too much back? Is that where the tension lives in your body? So is it because you're carrying too much, or is it because you're holding yourself back and you're just tense and squished up? What do you guys think? Me, I know it's because I'm juggling a lot of balls. I'm about to travel and do some stuff, so I'm a little, eager about that. I'm excited, but it's a lot. Yeah, all of the above, Tasha, for sure. Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely juggling family, jobs, all the things, for sure. It's a lot. Both, Janet. Yep. Yep. Awesome. Awesome, guys. So the most radical thing you can do right now is pause. Vacations just create more work. You don't have to go and do a detox. A sacred intentional pause just says, let me sit with myself. I do it every morning in a sauna for 30 minutes, right? Burnout says stop everything. Outgrowing says get quiet enough to hear what's next. Sit with yourself. It doesn't mean you can't listen to a little, music, a little something, right? Whatever. You can walk, you can do those things, but sit with yourself and hear what your mind is telling you. Is it telling you this job sucks? Is it telling you this relationship's not right for me? Is it telling you that whatever activity I'm about doing is a no and I'm just doing it to appease somebody else? We've talked about people pleasing before, right, guys? So what's it telling you in your body when you just sit with yourself? And with your intentional spiritual practice, breathwork, journaling, somatic, any of those things, create space to hear your own voice again. How many of you guys give yourself time every day to just sit with your thoughts? Yeah, Janet does. Does. Chris does. Cool. Tasha, I can't see you, but you can chat it up. Oh, some of you other guys do too. We have people that join us on other platforms as well. I can see them, but you can't. Tasha says walking. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Meditation, grounding. Grounding is a good one, right? Sticking your little naked feet on the dirt or in the beach. The beach is a good one as well. For sure. Petting your dog, cat, any of those. Absolutely, right? So hold space to hear your own voice. This pause is not a destination. So we're not trying to do anything. We're being. We're not doing, we're being. It's the doorway. And so integration is what happens in that pause and when the insights can finally land. So when you sit and allow yourself to quietly let your brain just wander, it is so good for you. You can't hear your direction in the noise of life, especially when it no longer fits. And so the pause is where that new path reveals itself. And so if you allow yourself that opportunity as many days as possible, 20, 30 minutes, as much as you can afford, listen to what you're telling yourself. Integration is not a retreat, it's a daily practice. So the integration of this is an ongoing process of weaving insights into your life. It's not a big breakthrough moment. It's 1,000 small conscious choices. So when you start with, what is my nervous system telling me? That pause, that opportunity for your mind to just explore itself, then what did I hold back today that wanted to be expressed? Where did I not truly sit in my authenticity? Where was I not in alignment? And then in a weekly recap, maybe am I moving towards authentic life or am I moving away from it? Am I staying stuck in something because of some kind of weird obligation I think I have to somebody or something? That's what integration is all about. It's a bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And without it, the profound experience fades. So you just get to sit in that integration and understand yourself, and allowing that pause is so, so important. And then reflecting on, where am I at? Am I in alignment? Does this feel right? Am I feeling fulfilled? Does this make me happy? This is not advice to go quit your job and break up with your partner. This is advice to listen to your soul and feel what's in alignment with you, and then change what you need to change to be in alignment. What is life trying to emerge? What is going on? So type in the chat, the version of me that I keep pushing down because it feels too big, too different, or too scary is. We're going to give a pause for that. The version of my life that I keep pushing down because it feels too big, too different, too scary, too whatever it is for you. What is that version of life? You guys willing to put it in the chat, or you're just going to think to yourselves? Either one's fine. Oh, the version that's fun. How many of you guys forgot how to have fun? The version that plays. That's another one that we leave behind as adults because we have to be all serious. Oh, the
Is it bad if I say that I
Hmm?
want to be the rich version?
You want the what? Rich version? No, there's no bad.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the version of you that has abundance and money. There's no shame in that. Money is just energy,
Okay.
guys. The version of you that receives that energetic exchange, yeah. The version of you that connects. The version of you that isn't yelling. That's a good one. The version of you that's happy, finding a partner, finding stability, that's also good, right? The things you guys are saying are not a fantasy. They're in your capabilities and they're just on the other side of the door if you just sit with it and then start doing things that are in alignment with the version of you that you keep pushing down and you keep hiding. The 3 pillars of moving from exhausted to align is one is clarity, quieting that noise. Hear your voice. Understand what your nervous system actually needs. Number 2 is courage. Everybody's scared. I'm scared. You're scared. We're all scared, right? The version of you that changes is the one that does it anyway. Intentional integration work creates neuroplasticity needed to take the next step without self-sabotage, right? So it's doing things even though it scares the shit out of you. I've done a million things that scare the shit out of me. I do it all the time. Shutting down my agency and starting this scared the shit out of me, but here we are, right? And I'm loving it every day. Community, building community. You cannot outgrow your comfort zone alone. It says if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. You need a container that holds you while you expand, and building community of like-minded people that are in alignment is super duper important. And this is what Silly Girl and the Temple of Heart Awakening Love are built for, is to help you build that community, is to help you with the courage and the clarity. You don't have to navigate this transition alone. So we do trauma-informed coaching for men and women. We do microdosing. We do coaching integration specifically for transitions in your life. Temple of Heart Awakening Love is a 508c1a religious organization and a private member association. So it's a legal sacred container for plant medicine work. And it's also a community that holds you while you expand, while you grow, while you explore, while you play. This is not a program. This is a homecoming. It helps you find your authentic self. Your authentic life is not on the other side of more hustle, more grind, right? It's on the other side of this conversation. So you can learn more. You can stay curious, absorb the information. You can connect with us. You can talk after this session. You can get in contact with me and I'll whip up a slide in a minute. It has my phone number on it. You can text me or call me and you can begin. You can join the Temple PMA. You can join the community. You can start your journeys. You can start doing microdose. You can do all kinds of things, whatever feels in alignment with you. And the gap between exhausted and aligned is not about willpower. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people. It's about being in alignment with your thoughts. It's about taking that pause so that you can be more in tune with your authentic self. You're not burning out, you're breaking through, and the breakthrough is just getting started. And again, like I said, I'll leave this slide up with my contact information. You can email me, you can text me, whatever works for you. And you can also check us out on our website. I am going to play a quick outro. So it's going to pause for a second and I'll be right back and then we can have a conversation, guys. Okay. So just hang tight for a minute for me and I'll be right back. Thank you for showing up today. Your willingness to explore, to question, and to awaken matters. If what you heard resonated with you and you are ready to take this deeper, we are here for that conversation. Silly Girl provides trauma-informed coaching and integration support in affiliation with Temple of Heart Awakening Love. Schedule a 1.1 call with me using the link in our bio. Let's talk about your journey.